Shadows on the Ledger, Part 1, The Rough Forge. This series is a dramatized exploration based on court records, public documents, and extensive personal interviews conducted during the defense investigation. While key events are drawn from real sources, some dialogue and scenes have been reconstructed for narrative clarity. This is a story about systemic failures, trauma, and how lives unravel. Viewer discretion is advised. It started in a middle-income neighborhood in Broward County. A boy born in the late 1960s, during the tail end of the free love era that was already giving way to harder realities. His father was loving and tried to provide structure and guidance. The woman the boy believed was his mother adored him. And across the street lived another woman who treated him with real, consistent kindness, a quiet anchor in his young world. For those early years, childhood held genuine happiness, simple joys, a sense of belonging, a foundation that felt solid. But even then, the ground beneath him was already shifting in ways no child could understand or control. Around age 10, everything changed. His father and the woman he called mother had another child, a baby girl. The adoration that had once centered so completely on him began to shift. He felt like second fiddle in his own home. The stability he had known started to fracture. The boy who had known consistent love from both his father and the woman across the street now carried a quiet rejection that would shape everything that followed. Then came the revelation that shattered the foundation entirely. The woman across the street, the one who had shown him consistent kindness, was his real mother. The news came without ceremony or preparation. They never formed a true bond. Then, in his early teens, she simply moved away. No deep conversation. No closure. The maternal connection he had glimpsed and briefly held was gone. The loneliness that followed was profound. School performance dropped. He began drifting toward a bad crowd. Drinking became habitual. What began as comfort and belonging slowly became control. The older man provided the party space, the alcohol, the companionship, and the validation the boy had been starving for. It started as a lifeline. The bad crowd now had structure. School became optional. The original family home faded into the background. But that sanctuary carried a hidden cost. The older man's influence slowly tightened. The arrangement that began as comfort became something far more controlling. After a few years of absence, school trouble, and deepening drug use, the young man, at the older man's suggestion, asked his parents to sign over guardianship. Then came the transaction. Another older boat captain effectively purchased him for around $2,500. The young man went to live with him in the high-rise apartment. The exploitative dynamic that had already begun continued and deepened. The boy who had sought validation from older men was now fully embedded in a world of control, substances, and power imbalances. This was the explosion of everything that had come before. The childhood fractures, the lost maternal bond, the guardianship exploitation, the search for belonging that led to the worst possible place. The older boat captain was stabbed dozens of times. The body remained in the apartment while the party continued. The chilling normalcy of it all spoke to how deeply the rough road had reshaped him. At 17 or 18, he was arrested. The system now had its first major mark on him. He entered the justice system as a traumatized teenager shaped by years of grooming and failed protection. What happened next in the courtroom would define everything that followed and reveal how the system itself sometimes fails the very people it claims to judge. Part 2 drops soon. If this story moved you, hit like, subscribe, and comment below. What part of the young man's early life hit hardest for you? Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter.